Greetings, this is Herman Franck, attorney author, and welcome back to another session at my website here. I am again at the river. I told you about in my last tape about how to be a good girlfriend. This is the second session of that. I would like you to know when I ended that last session, if you listened to it all, you might note it doesn't really end, it just kind of goes off. My phone does this to me. I'm recording this on my phone, and it automatically shuts off the cassette on my phone, the tape system, if somebody calls. And I want to tell you a little bit about the call I got, because it relates to what I'm talking about on the issue of how to be a good girlfriend. Here's the, I want to say the overall punchline or moral of the story about how to be a good girlfriend. And I'll tell you this in the story, but let me give you the lesson first. Don't be a pain in the ass. And excuse me for saying it like that, but women can just be difficult, and you can choose to be difficult. You can find yourself where you're always complaining about things, bitching about things, miserable about things, negative about things, and, you know, maybe even in an extreme way, insulting, putting down, you know, stuff like that. And I just want to tell you, just stop it, you know, and just don't do it. Because we men, a lot of us men, you got to realize also, we've been married before. We had an endless supply of that crap, you know, from our wives. And it's like now we're out dating again. The second we see that in a girl, I'm not happy, you know, and I'm negative, and I'm going to complain about this, I'm going to complain about that. We're just like, oh my God, this is my wife again, and there is no way we're going to deal with that. We kind of were stuck with the wife, and we went through a lot of crap to get rid of her. Once we finally got rid of her, it takes years to do. It's like goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. You know, and I remember there was a phrase, actually this was told to me by my wife's sister, who's my first wife, and she said, when my wife finally left, she said, the bitch is gone. And it was like a witch. It was like, wow, what's the matter with you? Why are you just being so difficult, so bitchy, so negative, so complaining, and just endlessly so? And I know women love to come up with a lot of excuses. Well, it's your issue, the man's issue. You're not being in a right way. But, you know, really, if you remember the words I gave you in the last session, there's something called mismatch, match, and supermatch. If you are finding that the guy just is constantly doing things that put you into a bitch mode, and you are constantly complaining, putting him down, criticizing him, then you don't have a match. You know, you've got to realize that. It's just not a match. You got to realize men, you know, we have certain personalities. We do things in a certain way. If you don't like that way, it's not your power or your judgment that matters. It doesn't matter at all. You can say, well, you're not right. And actually, the judgment means nothing, because the man is who he is, just like you are who you are. So don't make a judgment he's somehow bad or wrong. What it means is he's not a match. That's the judgment you definitely have a right to make. We are a mismatch and move on. So when you're finding yourself in a, you know, endlessly critical way, there are two things you can do. One is you can just stop it and save the relationship. The other is don't stop it and keep doing it, and trust me, you will end the relationship. And I'm going to tell you a couple examples of that now. Let me give you the one, though, that literally interrupted my session that I did yesterday. I was out here on a lovely Saturday, and I'm back out here at the river. It's a beautiful sunny day. I want to tell you, by the way, you can see this river at my website, wifeuniversity.com. Go to the family page. There's a page called Family, and there's a bunch of pictures I have there, a bunch of photos, and you'll see my kids and everything, and really a lot of fun shots there. And there's one showing the river. I think there might even be two there, but you can go check it out there. I'll try to post some more, too, so you can kind of get an idea where I am. I also want to apologize. One, I sent that cassette off, the tape off to a gal that listened to it, and she said the wind was blowing, and I'm sorry the wind was blowing, and maybe a little bit choppy there. It might kind of be nice, though, for you to get the feel of the moment as I am in the moment talking about what I'm talking about, to know that I am not just in some recording studio. I am out with nature, and I'm here by a river, and there are fish in the river. There are trees everywhere, and it's really kind of a lovely environment. And I also want to remind you of something I said yesterday, that this river goes to China, and I literally see rice boats pick up a bunch of rice here. One of them is called the White Pearl. It goes to Guangzhou, all the way from here to Guangzou. It's kind of amazing. So, hey, I'm here by the river that goes to China, and I'm delivering a tape recording about methods to literally deliver up a man to China, like how to be a good girlfriend. And, as I told you in my last session, you know what? Before you can be a wife, you got to be a girlfriend. You can't just skip that. So anyway, with all that having been said, let me go to what happened yesterday. I met a lovely 42-year-old doctor. She's a medical doctor. She is a brain doctor, which is pretty high-level stuff. And she actually lives here in California, which, for me is kind of exciting because a lot of the women I've met as I'm trying to find a new gal, they live in China, and it makes a huge challenge, and we often have breakdowns over, when are you coming, when are you going to come see me, and it's hard for me to schedule that, and, issues like that. Well, if someone's in L.A., it's not a big deal for me to get down to L.A. to see them. So I meet a gal who's a doctor, medical doctor. Now, here I am. I'm a lawyer, and I know the kind of situation that comes when women are doctors. Let me tell you a problem they have. A lot of men want to be smarter than the woman, and a lot of men shy away from a medical doctor because they think, oh, God, she's a lot smarter than me, and I want to be smarter than her, and I don't want to be with her because she's obviously a brain surgeon, and I'm not, and I don't want to be a guy who's like got a girl who's like 10 times as smart. That's the way a lot of men will think, and like it or not, that's what happens. As a result, a lot of female doctors don't have a guy. A lot of female lawyers don't have a guy. A lot of female judges don't have a guy. A lot of powerhouse female women don't have a guy. In fact, I read some articles about Cheng Nu, Cheng Nu, N-U, of China, the leftover girls, and the articles I've been reading talk about how a lot of them are what they call A-list women who are, in the big city, speak a couple languages, usually have a really good career job going. And a lot of the Chinese men don't like that kind of high-powered girl because they want to marry down. And so if you have an A guy, he wants a B girl. And by way of example, let's say you have a guy who's a doctor. He doesn't want to marry a doctor. He wants to marry a nurse. Or maybe a secretary or something. He doesn't want to be even. Well, you know what? For me, I'm more than happy to be with a doctor. No problem. And I'm hoping, maybe a medical doctor will appreciate my brain. I have a kind of hyperactive brain. Some girls have told me, I want a simple man. And I'll tell them right away, well, honey, that's not me. I am not a simple guy. I'm a guy who's written 25 books, 15 screenplays. I've done radio shows, TV shows. I'm a lawyer. I go to court all the time. I am not a simple guy. So if you want a simple guy, you're not going to want me. And I might add, there's nothing wrong with wanting a simple guy. Simple guys are good. I have no judgment about it. All I can say is that's not me. And that's in the category of mismatch. So this gal, by the way, she's quite pretty as well. She's not, she's thin, lovely face, nice hair. She's good. And she speaks nice English. We've had quite a few discussions. It's all good, okay? Let me tell you her hang-up. And I want to give you this example to give you a kind of a story. As I told you before, I like to show, not tell. And the telling part is don't be a pain in the ass. The showing part is the story of this doctor. And I would, if I were to write a story about this, I would call it the lawyer and the brain doctor. That's what it would be called. Okay, so I meet her online. We start chatting. When I find out she's in L.A., I give her my phone number. I said, hey, send me a text message. I'll be happy to call you. She does that, which is kind of sweet of her. And I call her, and we have a number of really nice conversations where we're able to just talk. Now, I'm not trying to get anything from her, and she's not trying to get anything from me. So we're going in a good way, okay? It's not like, can I sleep with you? Can I get sex from you? Can I get money from you? She's very independent herself, so she's not like, save me from my nothing life. I don't know what to do in the world. I don't have a job. I don't have a home. I don't have anything. I don't know what to do. Please come and save me. She's not in that way at all. She's like, I'm a brain doctor. I make good money. I have my own place. I'm independent. And if you want to join me in that, hey, let's check it out. Maybe we'll go there. So this is all, for me, real good. I like her. She likes me. Everything's fine. Well, here's how it falls apart. Let me tell you, it fell apart. And the phone call that interrupted me yesterday was the fall apart phone call. It goes like this. I will send her a lovely text message in the morning. Here's what it says. Hi, good morning. That's all, okay? And I'm not, I'm just saying good morning. It's a simple thing. She tells me, you know what, you are popular guy. The word she used was popular. Handsome guy. I know a lot of women want you. And I'm worried I'm going to fall in love with you and I can't have you. And because of that, I don't want to deal with you anymore. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to text to you. By the way, let me interrupt you just to say this. Let me interrupt myself to tell you that I'm looking at the other side of the river right now, and there's a bunch of sheep walking in a line, and for some reason, they're all white. Two of them are black. And actually, you know what? I'm sorry. I think I got that wrong. I don't think they're sheep. I think they're cows. But whatever it is, the two black ones have two babies, and they're walking across here with the little babies. I can't quite tell what they are. They're either really big sheep or really small cows, but they're kind of across the river, so I'm not looking at it right. Anyway, I just thought you'd like to know. I'm looking at a bunch of cows walking across a river. Isn't that nice? Anyway, back to my story about the brain doctor. So she's telling me, you are so popular, and I don't know where she, because I don't exactly tell her, oh, let me tell you about the other girls I'm talking to. But she deduces that. In other words, she figures that out herself. And, that's kind of her thing. Like, I can tell you have a lot of other girls. And I don't like that because I'm going to fall in love with you and you're not going to love me back, or some other girl is going to steal you from me. And I don't want to go through the pain and anger or upset over that. So before we even get anywhere, I'm going to end this relationship. That is literally what she told me when I was interrupted on my good girlfriend session number 1. And I told her, I said, hey, that's ridiculous, and to me, this is kind of like a brain doctor acting like an idiot. It's just kind of not right. Let me take a short pause here, just a second. Hello. Whoa. She's rambunctious. I'm walking by some people that are walking their dog. A nice married couple, nice man, nice woman. They're walking their dog on the river. And I suppose it's a good interruption to point out that if you think about what I'm talking about, that's what I'm talking about ending up with. I can tell you right now, those two are smiling. They're together on a Sunday afternoon. It's a beautiful blue sky. They're having a walk with themselves. They're probably, I would judge them at age approximately 44, somewhere like that. The woman is blonde, a little bit overweight. The guy looks pretty handsome. And I can tell by just the way they are that, they're in love. They're doing good. So please note, it can happen. All you people that think there's no such thing as true love, it's not true. There is such a thing. So don't give up, okay? All right, so anyway, back to my story of the doctor. I tell her, usually I won't call a person stupid. I don't want to be a name caller. I've had a lot of women call me bad names. So I didn't want to say you're stupid. What I said was what you just said was stupid. And I maybe that's kind of rude of me, but you know what? I really believe it. What she said was just stupid. Now, the other thing I had explained to her, I said, look, you got to understand something. We men don't just chase one girl. And this goes back to what I was saying on my earlier session. This is survival of the fittest. This is sexual competition. You must earn your right to mate. That's the fact of it. I remember the example I gave of the two rams coming together and smashing their heads into each other and getting dizzy and kind of walking around, and they do that like 5 times, and then finally one of them is down and out, and the other one who's still standing, he's the one that gets to mate. By the way, if you ever want to see another wild example of that, look at how horses do it. And look at wild horses mating ritual on the internet, and you're going to see these horses just beat each other up for like hours. They have these epic battles, and the winner gets the right to mate. He's the strongest one who beat up everybody else, and that way his strong seed is passed to the female, and then her colt is a strong colt. That's the concept that I'm trying to say. You have to earn your right to mate. And you don't just say, take me and don't take anybody else. That's just not realistic, people, I got to tell you. You got to earn it. And I know a lot of women don't like that, but I tell them, tough luck. You're living in a natural world, just like I'm out here by a river, where there's cows, there's sheep, there's fish, there's birds. We've got owls out here. All of those beasts are subject to the same rule. They have to earn their right to mate. And just like they do, guess what? So do you. And one of the things about men, and I had to explain this to the doctor, is, we kind of chase a lot of women that say no to us. I'm sorry if I said this last time, but let me repeat it if not. If I did say it, forgive me for repeating it, but it goes like this. I am not surprised when a woman says no to me. I'm surprised when she says yes. I can tell you that is a fact. And I think a lot of men think similarly. We get rejected so much, that we kind of compensate for that by trying many times. So it's like if it takes you 10 requests to get one yes, then you know what? You make the 10 requests. You just go ahead and do it. And the problem is when a problem will be created, like if you hit on 10 girls. Now that's another USA slang. Hit on means like talk to them, say, hi baby, how you doing? You try to get their attention. So let's say a man tries 10 different women to get one, but in the process, he actually gets 2. And so now he's like, oh my goodness, I got 2 girls that kind of sort of like me. I don't know which one is really going to like me. I've had so many experiences with, a girl says, I call them yes-no girls. A girl says yes on Monday, no on Tuesday. I can tell you that happens all the time. And, we men learn women in our lives are fundamentally undependable. And, you can say whatever you want, but I'll tell all women, hey, you want us to just chase you and nobody but you? Be dependable. And be consistent. What that means is be there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Don't just be there Monday and then disappear on us like we don't know where you are, what you're doing. You're not talking to us anymore. You could say, well, I'm having a bad time right now. I'm under a lot of stress. I have this or that. But we men all know the score here. It's like if you're having a bad time and you really like us, we know that that's the very time when you would want to lean on us. You would want to say, honey, I'm having a bad day. I want to tell you about it. So we don't buy that. If a woman says, I didn't talk to you for 5 days because I was busy with work, bullshit, okay? You're never too busy to talk to us if you want us, if you like us. So, sorry, there's a plane flying over. That is a engine propeller plane, by the way. You don't see so many of those around here. I want you to know also I'm looking at a group of ducks in the water, and they're all kind of swimming, and they look very cute. Okay, so back to the story. The doctor says, I know you are talking to other women. You are sending text. Are you sending text messages like the one you sent me to other women? Well, the answer is yes, of course I am. I said, yeah. Well, what's wrong with that? I mean, I'm saying good morning. I'm not making a bad statement like, will you have sex with me or something? It's just like a greeting. And she said, see, that's the problem. You're popular. You got these other women. I know they're out there. I know they want you, and I'm not going to be able to have you, so I don't even want to try. I want you to know what I told her. I think you'll get a kick out of this. You'll like this story probably. I said, okay. I said, first of all, that's really stupid because maybe you and I can be together. Okay, I'm a lawyer. You're a doctor. And she was telling me she can't be a guy because guys all think she's too smart and she's got a problem with that. And, at last she finds a big brain guy. That's me, okay, who can handle her big brain. I'm okay with it. I'm like, hey, I like a big brain girl. I can't, I'll tell you right now, there's no way I can be with a stupid girl. First of all, a stupid girl will not enjoy my brain. She'll be like, oh, you're so complicated. They won't go with that. I can just tell you that right now. They do not like super smart guy. And what they want is like a studly guy with a flat stomach, big arms, few tattoos. He walks around and they go, wow. Well, that's not me. I got kind of a gut, a little bit roly-poly. I don't have any tattoos. I'm not what we call a studly guy. Studly is like, stud actually comes from the horse species. The stud is the horse that mates with a bunch of female horses. That's they call them studs, because they're the ones that get to mate. And I'll tell you what, in my example, I am not the stud. I'm a big brain guy with a lot to say, but I'm not some like super bodybuilding guy, even though I do work out. I just don't have that physique like that, okay? As I told a woman who told me she wanted me to have a flat stomach, I told her, you'll appreciate this, if I had a flat stomach, I would not be so nice. How about that? So, whatever. So if a guy like me will probably only be enjoyed by a super smart girl who will enjoy my brain. Otherwise you might not appreciate it. It's like, forget it. So she and I are like a match. It's like, hey, you're a big brain gal. Literally a brain doctor. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And I'm a big brain guy. I'm a lawyer that goes blah, 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 blah. I write, I've written 25 books, 15 screenplays. I do radio shows, TV shows. I got a lot to talk about. That's me, okay? So she and I feel kind of bad because it's like, God, this could be a good match. And she was just too weird about the other girls want you and I don't want to fall in love and lose you. So I'm thinking, okay, so what do you want then? You want a loser? I asked her that. You want a loser guy? And she said, no, I want a winner who's handsome, who's really interesting, really well educated, and no other girl wants. Now think about it. How, am I right that that's just being stupid? I mean, if you meet a man who is well educated, intelligent, he has a good career, good job, he's funny, he's reasonably good looking. I mean, not the stud I was telling you about, but still a pretty good looking guy. Blue-eyed man, not that eyes should matter all that much. And he's attentive and wants to talk to you. Okay, don't you think maybe there's another girl out there for him besides you that will enjoy him also? Or do you think you're like, for whatever reason, the only girl on planet Earth that he's going to want that will want you? This is one of the problems my second wife, my Chinese ex-wife, had, is she just could not imagine there would ever be another girl that would possibly want me. She's like, you are such a piece of garbage. There's no way any other girl will want you. And I'll tell you, she was flabbergasted. There's a good word for you to know. You may not know that word. Flabbergasted means just shocked, amazed, like, oh my God, that's flabbergasted, okay? When she learned that, oh my God, there is another girl that wants me. Imagine that. Some Chinese girl would want a blue-eyed, white-skinned attorney at law. Hello? So, I want to say kind of like, wake up, girls. If you find a hot guy, and I hate to think of myself as hot, but, whatever. If you find a good guy who's got all these different good things going on for him, guess what? You've got to fight for your right to mate with him. You can complain about it all you want, but you need to. We have a saying in USA. I'm sure you have something like this in China. Let me give you the USA version. And somebody please call me or text me or email me with the Chinese version of this. It goes like this. If you can't handle the heat of the kitchen, get out. And it's kind of like if you can't handle it, don't do it. And it goes like, it's kind of like if you're in, let's say you're in a sports arena, and there are all these like really good sports people out there. I don't know, like you can talk about being a gymnast or a runner. I was a swimmer, so I'll use the example of a swimmer. And you see that the swimmers are really, really good and really, really fast. And you know what? You are not going to win. It's not a question of, I really want to win, I'm going to win, which my coach always told me, if you can visualize a gold medal, you'll get a gold medal. Well, you know what? That's all kind of inspiring and nice, but it's not real. If the other swimmers are faster, they're going to beat you. As I said in my other session, I was number 3 in Arizona in my age group, and I got 3 every single time. The only time I got a gold medal was when number 1 and 2 got sick and didn't show up. Every other time, I was number 3. Whatever. So I want to say, in a similar way in the dating arena, like I could have got up there. Let me say one other thing about being number 3. I did a swim meet every single weekend, and I never once said, I'm not going to win, so why bother? I never said that. Every time I got up there, I'm going to try to win, and I would swim as fast as I could. Let me also tell you that the space of time between 1, 2, and 3 was less than 0.25 seconds. So when we all landed, it was like boom, 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 right in a row, like bam, bam, bam. And I lost by like 20 centimeters. So every time I nearly won. So I never gave up. I never said, I am not going to win, therefore I want to quit. Now this may be a USA attitude, and maybe in China there's a cultural issue that you want to back away. If you don't see a sure victory, you're going to back away. But here in USA, we live by a saying, if at first you don't succeed, you must try again. You don't give up. You do not throw in the towel. That's another slang. I don't know why they call that. Throw in the towel as a way of like surrendering. You don't surrender here in USA. You fight for your right to mate. And you don't give up. Just because a guy has other women that are chasing him, so what? You've got other guys chasing you. So you tell him, if you're lucky, you'll win me. And he tells you, honey, I'm feeling lucky. So he's going to go after you with that attitude. If a man knows other men are after you, we don't shy away. We don't say, oh, I'll never catch you. Gosh, I know these other guys are better than me, and I'm just going to lose, so I'm not even going to try. I mean, I hate to say it this way, but the only guy I'll do that is a pussy, and you don't want him anyway. And, we men aren't pussies. We go after it. We'll be like, I don't care what other guy wants you. Whoever it is, I'm going to beat him. I'm going to win your heart, and we will go after you. Well, women, some women are with that. They're like, okay, I know you got other gals that want you, but you don't have any girl as cool and intelligent and hot as me. Well, she just got psyched out, and I'll tell you what, she didn't want to do it. So here's what I told the brain doctor. I said, honey, I want you to call your mom. I want you to tell your mom that you met a lawyer online who talks to you on the phone all the time, and that you dumped him because you think he's so popular with other girls, and you just don't want to fight for his heart, and you don't want to worry about the risk of not winning him, so you said bye-bye to him. She told me, I am not going to do that. I said, okay, bye. So I just gave up on her. I'm not going to deal with that kind of stuff. I just, bye-bye. Okay, that's fine. I wanted her to talk to her mom, by the way, because my concept is you may not listen to me. I mean, I don't know her that well. I've only known her 3-4 weeks. And I don't expect her to trust me. If I tell her she's doing something stupid, I don't expect her to go, oh, I'm sure you're right, and I'm going to change. But if she tells her mom, you know, Chinese mom, you can imagine a Chinese mom. You met a 54-year-old lawyer, and you are 42 and you're a doctor, and you can't find a big brain guy that will take you, and you finally found one, and you dump him? You know, you can imagine the Chinese mom would be all over that, right? Like, what the hell's the matter with you? And would tell her, you're being stupid. And my idea was, if she heard that from her mom, she would wake up and come back to me and say, you know what, you're right, I'm stupid, and I want to just not, I want to come back to you. Let's go, okay? And let me tell you, the kind of guy I am, I will accept her back. I would not say, nope, that's it, forget it, you already said no once, and that's it, you're out, no way. I'm not like that at all. And just so you know, here's some good news for you. Most men are not like that. We will put up with a surprising amount of bad treatment. You can yell at us, you can shout at us, you can put us down, you can insult us, you can dump us. You can do quite a bit to us, and then you can call us back and say, honey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it, and we'll take you back. That's the good news. The bad news is, you got to realize when you do that, you create a lack of trust, number one. Number two, during the 5-day period in which you go away, trust me, we're looking for a replacement. And probably we're going to find one. And when we do, you know, we may still keep that replacement because we think she may do the same thing you just did. So we're going to keep both of you together, and we'll see who's really going to be there for us. We don't know. You know, we'll like, you know what, I want this girl and I want that girl, and let's see in 2 months from now, you know, who's still with me. And then I might make a decision. So you can do that, and you will create mistrust, and you will cause us to go back into the forest, like wolves that we are, and hunt for a new girl. Trust me, we're going to do that. And you can complain about that all you want. What we would tell you right back is, why don't you quit being such a bitch, and I won't do that. You know, like, come on, you know, wake up. So we'll be right back at you with that. I think men, for the most part, have zero apology for chasing multiple women at once. Okay, so let me tell you what happens with the doctor. So a day goes by, she calls me again. I talked to my mom. You gotta love this. My mom said I was stupid, and I know she's right, and I know I was wrong. So if you don't mind, if you're willing to, you know, continue, let's please continue. And just like I just said, I will. You know, I'm not going to say, nope, that's it. You had your chance and you lost it. But let me also tell you that I don't trust her. I really don't. I don't trust her. I'll continue with her. I will speak with her. But all the time I'm thinking, this gal is not for me. This gal is going to dump me again. You know, once you dump a guy, you know, that hurts us. And we think you're going to do it again. You know, and we protect, you know, ironically, her issue was, I'm going to fall in love with you and you're going to dump me. And rather than being a victim of being dumped, she became a perpetrator. Perpetrator means the person who does something wrong. You know, like you can have a murderer and a victim. The murderer is the one who shoots the gun and kills what we call the victim. The person who ends up dead is the victim. So you can worry that you're going to be a victim of being dumped, and instead, or like you're going to be a victim of being murdered. You don't want to be killed, right? So what do? You carry a gun. And you see someone, and for some reason you think they're going to kill you, and you shoot them first. Well, now you're a murderer. You know, you just went from victim to murderer. And that's what happened with her. It's exactly what she did. Oh, I want to tell you right now, I am looking at a very cute blue hummingbird that's sitting in a tree looking at me. You know, normally whenever you see a hummingbird, they're always flying. This one is actually not flying. And, I wonder why. Very cute. Hello! I just said hi to it. It's still sitting there looking at me, wondering why I'm saying hello to it. So anyway, this girl is a pain in the ass. We could have easily been a match, okay? And I can't imagine that we're not a match except for that. And so I give you this kind of good girlfriend rule. Don't do that. Don't be a pain in the ass. Don't be telling the guy that there's some big problem. There's a problem. There is no problem. You know, talk in a positive way, in a way that shows you think, I mean, it's like, I want to give you the comparison. I'm at the starting block of an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It's 50 meters. I'm up there in lane number 4, and in lane number 1 and 2, they're the same two guys that have beat me every time, okay? And I'm up there, and the man with the gun, who's the guy that starts us, he says, "Swimmers, take your mark. It's set." And then he shoots the gun. When he says get set, we get down, and we're ready to dive off that plank into the water and swim as fast as we can. I don't say, I know I'm not going to win. I don't want to do this race. I don't say that at all. Instead, what I'm looking at, I had a swim coach who told me, do not look to your right. Do not look to your left. You look straight ahead. When that starter said, take your marks, get set, I'm just focusing on today, I'm going to win. And when that gun gets fired off, I just spring forward. I'm in that water, and I am swimming as fast as I can. Boom, 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 boom. I go all the way to the end of the pool, I do a flip turn, and come all the way back. And when I come back, I don't look to the right. I don't look to the left. I just swim as fast as I can. And when I get there, once again, I see. Within a nanosecond, I lost. I'm number 3. 2 other guys beat me, but they beat me just barely. And we look at each other, we respect each other. That's called a race. That's called competition. And just because there's competition doesn't mean you don't do the race. You do that race because you need to, you have to. It is nature's way. You do the best you can do. You don't look to your left. You don't look to your right. Don't worry about the other girls that he may be talking to. You just figure today you're going to win. And you go forward in the best way you can. And the best way you can isn't bitching and complaining. I mean, hello, who wants to hear that, right? Nobody wants a bunch of negative crap. You know, my mom had a good statement. I'm sure there's a Chinese statement like this. If you don't have anything good to say, it's better not to say anything. You know, and it's really true. It's like, you know, be positive. Don't be a pain in the ass. That's kind of the lesson I want to give. I will do another session shortly. Please stay tuned for more on how to be a good girlfriend. A lot of the issues I talk about here, I would like to point out, are in my book, East-West Marriage. They are also probably analogous, which means comparable or roughly similar to the issues of what you need to do to be a good wife. And that is all covered in my other book called Good Mom, Bad Wife. That's Good Mom, Bad Wife. You can find those over there. And a lot of it's just common sense, you know. Be positive. Be cool. Be good. And remember, like it or not, you live in a natural world. You have to fight for your right. And don't just not do the competition because you think you're not going to win. That's not the way to go. You just figure, today, I'm going to win. Thank you. We'll have another session next week out here.